tonight, Lord. Pray, Lord, that you give us wisdom and understanding, Lord, to be able to operate the city in good. Thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please rise for the pledge. Okay, council, I need a motion on the work session minutes.
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, raise your hand.
7 with 2 and 5 abstaining.
You got them all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I can't hardly hear her microphone. Maybe you got it on? Okay.
Test.
Need a motion on the regular council meeting minutes on October the 1st.
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion. All in favor, raise your hand.
8 with 1 abstention.
Okay, Mr. Mayor,
Thank you so much.
28 days, 29 days.
28. But we still have work to do. You've got a couple things in front of you tonight that will be of interest to see how we deal with them tonight. One thing, though, relative to the election, I hope someone has mentioned to you, it is anticipated that we're going to have a large crowd. And I don't know that the fire code will allow us to have that many. So at some point in time, I think we have to authorize.
I guess while we already talking about it, Mayor,
Yeah.
council, I need somebody to make a motion that we move our installation to the Renaissance or larger facility. If the Renaissance is not available, go ahead and say that on November the 12th, we move that. So I need a motion to do that. It's just not going to be large enough. We need a larger facility, and look at what we got. We got a pretty full night, and this is a regular council meeting minutes, and this is going to be a big, because everybody has to bring the family and whatever.
Our first swearing in was at the City Hall, at the Renaissance.
So I think the Renaissance is the place we need to go. So
Motion to move from
have a
City
motion
Hall.
to move it, meeting that to
Who made the
the
motion,
Renaissance. I guess I'm going to have a motion to, okay, all in favor, raise your hand.
What's the motion? Go
To
the
move it to
The
Renaissance on
motion
the
is to
12th.
move
To a larger
from City
facility.
Hall to the
Do we need to
Renaissance.
suspend the rules to do it?
What if it's not?
What if
We need,
it's
I
not
think
available?
I better suspend the rules on
What
that.
if it's not available?
Huh?
What if it's not available? Let's just make the motion, move it from City Hall to a larger facility.
To where?
To a larger facility. What if-
Oh, okay,
if
yeah.
It's not available.
All right, let's change that motion. Now, we got to have suspension rules on that.
Move to suspend the rules.
Let's amend it. Have a motion to suspend the rules.
You can't suspend the rules because you don't have a resolution in front of you.
Do what?
You can't suspend the rules because you don't have a resolution in front of you. You're just making a motion
motion.
to move it.
I'm not hearing you very well either.
We can't suspend because we don't have a resolution.
Okay, we just
Just
do a
vote.
motion. Okay.
Just
All right,
vote.
let's do a motion. And we got the motion, you got the motion going
Motion
to a
move
larger
to a larger
facility.
The motion is to move from this venue here
To a larger-
venue.
Okay. All in favor, say, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Okay, good, done. Next question, Mr. Mayor?
Well, it's not a question, but it's a comment and a presentation. As we know, we've been involved for a couple of years now in Community Heroes, that the Advertiser and others have been so gracious to find those heroes that are really unsung. And tonight, we have another one that we've been working with for a long period of time, Philip Enzer. He's a great addition. He's one of those millennials that came here a few years ago because he wanted to come south and find out that we were good guys down here, good guys and girls. Bro Criff, who's the executive editor of the Advertiser, is here tonight to make the presentation. He'll make that presentation, and then we'll get a picture with Philip and give Philip a opportunity to tell us how grateful and gracious he is to receive this award. So, bro.
Thank you. First, I'd like to say I think it's wonderful that we have to move our election watch party to where there's so many people interested in elections and voting that are doing that. So thank you to the city for caring that much. For the Community Heroes Program, I want to thank Beasley Allen and Anya Coleman is here, an attorney with them. Without their support, our series would not be possible, and to the City Council and to the Mayor.
Please get closer to the mic. We just can't hear it.
Okay. Can you all hear me okay? Okay.
Is it a speaker? That's the best we got? Is that the best we got, Mike? Do the best you got. Okay, that's the best we got. We got a speaker
right.
problem tonight.
Okay, so I have I'm fortunate to introduce Philip Ensler, our community hero for the month of September. As the mayor said, I think he is the embodiment of what this city is looking for and has been preaching in the city and outside the city for the type of people they want coming and moving to the city. When he was 22 years old, he was a George Washington University graduate in DC, and he started working for Teach of America, and he was assigned to Montgomery, Alabama, and assigned to Lee High School. And he came here, and he made a relationship not only with this city, but he also made a relationship with the students in Lee High School, one that was a bond for him as strong as it was for the children. He saw an opportunity to bring light into their lives and to enrich their lives with opportunity. So what he does is he goes off and goes to law school. He goes back to New York to Cardozo Law School, and he gets his JD. And usually that's where the story ends for us, right? With millennials and people who come to this city, they move off to greener pastures and they leave. But that bond for him and that connection to this city and to those students in that school was so strong, he came back. He now works for Appleseed, which helps underprivileged people in fights within the courtrooms, issues that affect us. And he has started the Marching On program for young students, exposing them to Washington, D.C. and opportunities beyond what they might think is possible, opening their eyes to those opportunities. And I'll tell one specific story, how I met Philip. So we get an email in the newsroom from Philip, and he has a young woman in his program. Her name is Dee Dee, and she's interested in journalism. And we often get emails of people saying, oh, we have people interested in journalism, or can we use your services? Can we expose them to what's going on in the newsroom? So maybe that might be an opportunity for her. We typically, almost always, say yes. But rare is the person that has the follow through to bring the student and expose her. Philip did that, and it immediately created a relationship between us to where I trust him more than most people in this community because of the way he's invested, and also because he was willing to take his time as a 29-year-old young man to expose Dee Dee to our newsroom and potentially opportunities. Now, Dee Dee is a graduate of Brew Tech. She has gone on to Howard University, and she was doing well, very well. And I would argue that a lot of that is because of Philip Ensler and what he has exposed to her. Because of young women like Dee Dee and the young men that are in the crowd today that he has also helped, that's why he was our community hero for the month of September. Thank you.
Philip would not say that's exactly how he wrote it. One other thing that Philip is doing on our behalf, we all know that there's a memorial at the Equal Justice Initiative for our communities, and he has been working with Dylan Nettles with EJI to do community involvement, to do community research, and at some future point in time, the memorial that's the duplicate will be located somewhere in Montgomery, and Philip has been at the spear of that along with Dylan. So thank you for that. Can we get a picture? And then you get a chance to say a word or two? How about that? Yeah.
Good job. Good job. Kids are here.
I met this one. He reached out to me the other day.
Good.
Y'all ready?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
I
will be brief because I know there are more pressing matters here, but I just do want to say I am grateful, and unlike some people who maybe came down once and then left, I obviously came back, Mr. Mayor, and I really am grateful to be a part of the community here, and just looking around and seeing whether it's students who have gone on the trip, whether it's members of the Jewish community who have supported me, and the students, and then of course my family from Lee High School who really took me in when I first moved here, and they're here tonight as well. One thing that I just do want to say that in being recognized, it's kind of an awkward situation where it really is about, you know, the kids. And what comes to mind is a quote from, and I'll paraphrase it, from Dr. King. And he said that philanthropy is commendable, but in giving to others that we should never ignore the underlying injustices that exist. So while I'm grateful and humbled to be acknowledged, I just ask that all of us here tonight, that we not ignore the underlying injustices that still exist in Montgomery, that we recognize that access to equal opportunity is still not quite equal. So let's keep fighting together and working together to make sure all of our kids really have the opportunities they deserve, and we'll all be better because of it. Thank you.
Mr. President, since this will be my last opportunity to thank the advertiser for that program, it's one of the great programs that this organization has helped recognize community heroes. I will say that a young lady by the name of Lisa Wheel recognized talent when she saw it, because it's been about 3 years ago she called for an appointment and she brought Philip Ensler to me, introducing as a young man that had a future. And obviously he's been successful. He's one of those that early on raised his hand because education was so important to him. He did not win the election, but he was part of that millennial group that raised their hand for service. And that won't be the last time that I believe that we'll see Philip in the arena. And I just wanted to congratulate him, but I particularly wanted to thank Bro and Michael Galvin for the work that they're doing, recognizing these great citizens in our community. So thank y'all.
Okay. I have some people want to talk to us on the agenda item, so I'll just, when we go to the agenda item, we'll call on you. First item, Madam Clerk.
Mr. President, item 1, ordinance rezoning one parcel of land containing 12.5 acres located on the north side of Taylor Road East, approximately 700 feet east of Taylor Road, from an Ag 1 district to a PGH 40.
Mr. Tyson.
Mr. President, the Planning Commission did not recommend this rezoning.
Okay. Mr. Pruitt, you want to call on somebody?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I think there may be some people here, and I know we did not have a public hearing scheduled on this tonight, but since we brought it up from the floor, there are some people that are here that I think are for it and are against it.
Okay.
We maybe do a 5-minute, 3-minute.
Yeah, let's do 3 minutes of time on this. I think we all know basically what's going on.
Yes, sir, and there may be 1 or 2 people here from the
Folks that want to have it, they want to do it, and then the one that, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you know who the players are? You want to call on?
Well,
Doctor?
right here, I know they're for it, but the Longchamps are against it, so if they want to start, and then if somebody from the
Yes,
others-
that'd be fine. Let's let the Longchamps talk first, and then we'll, or whatever. Who, is that what you want to do, Mr. Pruitt?
Yes, sir, please.
Which item is it? Number 1?
Your microphone's not working very good, so we gotta get that thing up for
Okay,
you.
ladies and gentlemen, I represent the applicants that seek to have this property rezoned. In the Planning Commission, there were 2 or 3 issues that concerned them. There were 12 and a half acres then. There was not really a buffer between Mrs. Longchamp and the proposed development. The ownership of the road is by a quitclaim deed to Ms. Longchamp. That's Taylor Road East. There was a question about whether improvements could be done and a question about maintaining those. There was also a question about covenants affecting the property to be rezoned. the issue has been resolved regarding the 7.5 acres that's now the property to be rezoned. It leaves 5 acres that's mostly a buffer between the development and Ms. DeLongchamp's property. Second, there is a court order that allows for the improvement of that private roadway that leads to where the subdivision would begin, Taylor Road East, and that court order indicates it can be improved to meet city standards by the developers, my clients. The third issue would be whether it can be maintained.
Hold.
Can I ask a quick question? That's one of my big issues is the road, that the road can be improved
By the developer.
by the developer, but can the city have access to that road to go back into that neighborhood where I know the neighborhood is a public?
Well, the answer is, in order to do maintenance on it, if it's never dedicated to become a public road, there are performance bonds, maintenance bonds that can be acquired. There can be indemnifications from the developers. There can ultimately be indemnifications or bonds from the homeowners association that would be created that would make sure that maintenance takes place and that Taylor Road East, to the point where it enters the subdivision, would be kept to city standards. So I think that issue is not an unusual issue. There are, I think, performance bonds that are regularly
We
provided.
understand that part of it.
Sound like a no.
Okay. Mr. Pruitt, you got any? If this piece of property could be if that road can be upgraded, what you're saying, it can be upgraded by the developer, and then that could be granted to the city as a easement or whatever, so that city could improve it later or whatever,
Well,
or
whether the
maintain it.
city improvements,
No.
excuse me, whether the city improves it or whether the developer or it's not improved, but maintained through a bond, the developer can certainly improve it. We have a court order to that effect.
Okay.
And once it's built to city standards, then a performance bond or indemnifications or a combination of those from the developer and the homeowners association can be used to make sure it continues to meet city standards.
Can I ask a question?
Mr. Bell?
Is
Mr.
that
Bell?
private property?
Excuse me?
The road is private property?
The road is owned, or Ms. DeLongchamp has a quitclaim deed to that roadway itself, but there is a court order that allows my clients, the developers, proposed developers, to improve that. They can improve it to meet city standards, and it can be maintained through a bond.
What are you proposing for this council? I want to be clear. What are you asking us to
That
do?
the property be rezoned as we've sought, that 7.5 acres, not the total of 12.5 that was originally the project, the 7.5, which mostly leaves a buffer between Ms. DeLongchamp and the new proposed development. That's normally the...
Mr. Pruitt, you understand what we're trying to get?
Yes, sir, and again, I'm going, and listen, in the very beginning, I was for this project because, I mean, how do you turn down residential homes? And
Right.
But the problem I've got with this piece of property is the road. And until somebody from the mayor's office can say, yes, we're going to go back in there and we're going to service those streets, we're going to service the trash, I got an issue with it because I do not want a private neighborhood for 20 or 30 years from now. And if Mr. Longchamp denies us access to that road, that's what it's going to become.
I don't think she can deny you access to that road, but as I said, the maintenance of that road can be handled through a bond.
Well, and we've done bond issues before, and I know how they work, and we've also gotten screwed on them as well. And excuse my French, but I need to know that this neighborhood is going to be a public neighborhood, and nobody can tell me that.
I think the situation with bonds has been fairly common in the city, and having maintenance or performance bonds to be
Mr. Tyson,
used.
talk to us about the bonds.
Well, it would be engineering's call on that, but they normally do require a bond when a street's being built, and it expires about a year after the completion of the street.
And Mr. Jenright, we had a bond on Thornton Trace, and for whatever happened, the bonds weren't done properly or something, and the city ended up having to eat the left half. I don't know what we were to eat, but we had to eat it.
There can be.
Well,
So I know-
are we in a position tonight to make a decision? Mr. Pruitt, this is in your district, and you got a lot of folks that going to affect.
Yes, sir. I think he wanted to speak right here. Did you want to speak? Go ahead and come up.
Can I have the attorney's name for the record, please?
First,
Terry Wilson.
What's your name?
Speak in the mic so she can hear you, sir.
Terry Wilson.
Terry Wilson, okay? Yes, sir.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen.
Your
Mayor.
name?
My name is Craig McAdams.
Hi, Mr. McAdams.
I live at 3654 Weston Place. I live on the east side of the road that y'all are debating about. I have a number of concerns that will affect our property values. That subdivision is called the Oaks, which is the southwest corner of Sturbridge. I have an oak tree in my backyard that's got a circumference of 14 feet. Other homes that are facing, that backyards face the fence and the road that the gentleman was talking about. We run the risk of losing those trees with all of the road work, the site work, the elevation and all of that stuff. When you start cutting down and get into those roots, we could lose our trees, would hurt the property value. I don't want to impede growth, but Taylor Road is getting pretty bad on traffic. People are coming off of 85 using Taylor Road to go south on 231. The two intersections of Taylor Road and Vaughn and Taylor Road and 231 Troy Highway are really pretty dangerous roads. And we've got a lot of growth going on in that area with the Church of the Highlands there. Sturbridge is developing more and more in the southwest corner behind Sturbridge. And I have a real concern about that. And then the entrance and exit onto Taylor Road. Using Taylor Road, I think it's east. And we have enough problems with the traffic there now, especially with the high school, the Wilson Junior High, and all the stuff that's being built along there. And we just need to make sure that we do it right if we do it. But I sure don't want to lose my trees and lose the value of my home.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Mr. Pruitt, you got anything else?
No, sir, I didn't think, yeah, go ahead. A few minutes.
For the record, Cindy DeLongchamp. I'm the adjacent property owner, and I just wanted to run over everything real quickly. 2 years ago, we were here, and now the judge has spoken. Judge Reed ruled in my favor on August 7th, upholding the existing deed restrictions that would prevent the 12.5-acre patio home development plan that my neighbor was originally pursuing. A few days after the judgment, my neighbor's attorney who just spoke filed a motion to vacate that order. Actually, it was another attorney, but the judge heard their objections on September 11th and then filed a final order on September 23rd, again ruling in my favor. The judge confirmed that the 5 acres on my western property line cannot have more than one home on those 5 acres. I believe you all have a substitution ordinance, and with that, it has taken the 12.5 acres to the 7.44 acres, so my neighbor is complying with the judge's order. It is my understanding that the developer plans to go ahead and build 35 or so patio homes on the property that is not deed restricted, but I haven't seen a new or revised plan, and I know the Planning Commission hasn't seen a new and revised plan, and I'm sure that's on purpose since the Planning Commission voted unanimously not to approve the original plan. Even Councilman Bollinger's own appointment to the Planning Commission voted no on the rezoning plan. And now a judge has ruled that 40% of that plan isn't lawful, so clearly the Planning Commission had it right. And you would think that having to shave about 40% of your development plan was the bad news, but that's only half of it. My neighbor's real issue is the fact that his property is only accessible by my private dirt road. Without any objection from me or my attorney, Judge Reed also ruled that my neighbor has the legal right under an improvement clause to make improvements to my private dirt road. It is his plan to pave the road and bring it to city standards so that his patio home neighborhood has a paved entrance and exit. What the judge did not rule is that my neighbor can dedicate any part of my private road to the city for public use. Even if they paved it, even if they widen it, it's just a paved and widened private road. I've got 10 years of tax bills. I've already shown those to you, and it's got my name on it, not my neighbor's name. You all know what this means. A vote to rezone this property to allow 30-plus patio homes to be built means that the only way these homeowners can get to their house is through my private road. The only way the garbage trucks, waterworks, and other city services can get to those homes is through my private road. I sincerely doubt that the city will mark this project as a precedent to start maintaining and paying for the upkeep of private roads across Montgomery, since I know this is an ongoing issue in many districts. I'm asking my city council not to approve a high-density rezoning plan adjacent to deed-restricted 5-acre lots whose only point of access is from my private road that is not and will not be dedicated for public use. I respectfully ask that the city council uphold the Planning Commission's decision not to rezone.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Pruitt, you got anybody else? Yes, sir.
Here, 2 or 3 points were made. One about Taylor Road and traffic into and out. There's an engineer's report that came along with this that was done that indicated it's not going to create an overburdening. Second, this is not a development plan. This is rezoning. Development plans as to how many particular homes will be built and the square footage and so forth will ultimately be determined. But today we're here for rezoning. And third, there's ingress, egress accesses from Taylor Road up through Taylor Road East to where this property is. So whether Ms. DeLongchamp owns the private road or not, she can't prevent people from using it. We can improve it to city standards, and we can maintain it through whether it's a performance bond, maintenance bond, or through indemnifications from the developers. And those can be renewed year by year and kept in ad infinitum. Ad infinitum.
Okay. Mr. Pruitt, you got any more questions?
No, sir. Oh,
Yes, he owns the property.
no, I think this gentleman had something to say.
Yeah, Doctor.
I would like to ask the
Doctor,
lawyer one question, Mr.
Yeah,
Mr.
Doctor, you
Jenright.
got a statement?
Well, I think in deference to the councilman and the agenda, I think a lot has been said about what ought to be done, what should be done. And I would just say that I owned a significant part of the property that abuts this property. And we've had this debate on at least 2 times now. And we've had it go up and down, up and down. And I agree with Ms. DeLongchamp. I would like for the property to remain as is.
Thank you.
Need his name, please, sir.
Okay.
I need his name.
Sir, come back and give your name,
Doc, your name for the record, Doctor.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am Dr. Roosevelt McCorvey.
Roosevelt. McCorvey. Okay.
Mr. President.
Mr. Pruitt, what you want to do?
Mr. Mayor, I think I know what I want to do. I want to make sure that I understand this right.
Need to go
You
back.
understand this right. That city sanitation trucks cannot go down a private dedicated road if she does not give us permission.
I would defer to my attorney, but as a general statement, we're only going to go on public roads because of the possibility of us damaging the private roads, having to go in and repair, and the liabilities that would be associated with that.
Is that pretty agreeable, Kim?
I mean, we don't usually go on private property to do public service.
What if Mr. Longchamp said, here's a letter saying you guys can come back here and service these 35 houses or whatever?
Well, at the end of the
Then we
day,
could do it, then
it's
it'd be a
illegal
different
to
story.
do public dollars on private property.
All right. Well, Mr. President, and
Yes,
I
sir.
do, and I think it should, but I think tonight what this council needs to do is deny it. The road issue is a huge, huge issue for me. I'm all for residential houses, but as I told you on work session, I'm not for making the neighborhood a private neighborhood. I think it hurts the city in the long run. But until the road issue's addressed, I think we deny this and we send them, if they want to, go back to the planning commission and do whatever they need to do there.
That's a good
But
idea.
I think the road issue has to be addressed.
Okay.
So.
All right,
I'm
your
gonna make
motion
a-
is to
Yes,
deny?
I'm gonna make a motion to deny.
Have a motion to deny. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Huh?
Did you, I saw that it was unanimous.
Unanimous, okay.
Yes, sir.
Motion denied. Okay, next item.
Item 2, review of the proposed resolution finalizing the revocation of the business license of the Shack at 3200 Atlanta Highway.
I think the chief has said that this is, Chief, you want to address this issue? Thank you. Yeah, I think the chief's okay with
Good evening. I got with the owner.
it. Yes, sir,
and-
chief. Go ahead.
Yes, I got with the owner and the manager, so we both agreed to extend this for another 30 days, so we
Another
can...
30 days?
Correction, another 90 days.
Another 90.
So
It's
I
gonna go
made
into
sure
new-
that my personnel will get with their personnel just to
Can we do
ensure
that?
the safety.
We can do as we did with the other, we will allow him 90 days for the police department
it'll
to
be brought up
review,
again?
And then he'll
Okay.
have to bring it as
All
a
right.
new item.
Another 90 days then, okay.
Yes,
Extended.
thank you.
Apparently you're doing a good job then. That's good. Good to hear. Thank you, chief. Thank you.
Item
number
3,
three.
ordinance authorizing purchase and sale agreement, sale of real estate located at 1120 South Holt Street.
We're going to carry 3 and 4 over for a, to be checked, I believe. Okay? Carry those 3 and 4, I'll carry over. Going number 5.
Yes, sir. I've given you each a folder. The very first thing in the folder is the certification of the municipal election. We counted provisionals today. There were 420 provisionals. Of that, 102 were counted and added, and you'll see the final results there. The first item we have is the resolution canvassing the returns of the runoff election, certifying that Stephen L. Reed, Mayor, Tracy Larkin, District 3, Cornelia C.C. Calhoun, District 5, and Aronde K. Mitchell, District 6.
Okay, what do we need to do?
We need a motion to suspend the rules and then a motion to adopt. It's a resolution that just canvasses the returns.
Motion
Motion
to
to suspend the
suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend rules. All in favor, raise your hand.
Jim, 7 and 8.
Okay, unanimous?
7 and 8, I need you to raise your hand.
Raise your hand, man.
7 and 8, I need you to raise your hands. Thank you. You're
You
the
can't keep saying
two-page
anything,
one.
you raise your hand.
It's unanimous.
All right,
It
we're
was
done.
unanimous.
Okay, now we pass it down and sign it. Is that
We
correct?
need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt. You got it?
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous, resolution
Okay,
is
now.
adopted. The next is a resolution presenting Stephen L. Reed Certificate of Election for mayor.
Need a motion to suspend rules?
Motion to suspend the rules?
All right, everybody, what Glenn's got is what we're signing. What's in front of you is your copy.
Yeah, just wait on the one
Pass-
coming down.
pass the
Don't
folder.
sign
Sign
our
them
copy.
all, then
Don't sign
pass the
copy.
folder
Just-
to the next
Just
one.
keep, that's your copy. He's sending you one down to sign. We'll
There
all
are 3
sign the same copy.
certifications and 1 resolution certifying all of it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, 4 signatures.
You got
So
that?
Glenn will send it down and we'll go that way, okay?
Now we're
We
on
need
the
another motion.
we-
I'm confused.
We're at resolution presenting Stephen L. Reed the certificate of election for mayor.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Resolution presenting certificate of election to Tracy Larkin, City Council Member for District 3.
Need a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Motion
I
to
need a
adopt.
motion, I didn't. I got it.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Resolution presenting Cornelia C.C. Calhoun, Certificate of Election for Council Member District 5.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Resolution presenting certificate of election to Aronde K. Mitchell, certificate of election for City Council Member District 6.
Move to suspend.
Need a motion to suspend the rules? All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Okay. That it?
Yes, sir. That's it.
All right, let's sign that and pass it on and sign it, Will.
You want to go to item 6 or you want to wait? You want me to go on to item 6?
Sorry, what?
Do you want me to go on to item 6 or you want to pause for the cause?
While we sign. It
We
take a
can,
minute.
we'll keep going.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and go to 6. We can sign while we're doing it.
Item 6, ordinance amending
I'll
ordinance
just keep me straight over here.
number 24-2019, sections 1 and 2, panhandling.
Motion to carry over.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Item is carried over to the next meeting. Item 7, resolution ascending to the vacation of a portion of unnamed right-of-way access easement south of Atlanta Highway.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
can I ask a quick question on number 6?
Number 6.
Yes, sir, I understand we're carrying it over, but where are we headed when we carry it over? What do we do? What results are we looking for in 2 weeks?
I know me personally, I spoke with Archley about the penalties, just tweaking that just a little bit, but outside of that, I'm not sure what else we.
You gonna do it? Are you gonna make the changes?
Yeah, I'm gonna get with
I wanna make sure we have something in
get
2
with
weeks.
the attorney.
Okay, we're heading in the right direction. Okay.
I think the only issue is, in fact, the penalty portion of
Penalties,
it.
so that'll be the thing we do. Okay, on number 7.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 8, resolution authorizing the sale of unneeded personal property.
Okay, need a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Need a motion to adopt. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Number 8.
Item 9, resolution authorizing funding agreement for the City of Montgomery with the Montgomery County Community District for Whitewater Park.
All right, this will be carried over.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks on this carryover.
Item 10 has been withdrawn because it is in compliance.
What number are you on that?
Sir?
10's withdrawn.
10's withdrawn
10's
because it's in
withdrawn, okay.
compliance. Item 11, application for an alternative transportation service doing business as Beyond the Walls Ministry, 323 East South Boulevard.
Representative Beyond the Walls Ministry, please come forward. Beyond the Walls Ministry. Not here. They're supposed to hear us. They ain't here. We don't need a public hearing on this, do we?
No, sir.
Our deal has been if they don't come, we don't vote. Is that
You
right?
want to carry it over to the next one?
We'll carry it over. Carry it over next week. Next week.
Item 12, application for a restaurant retail liquor license doing business as Vintage Cafe Cloverdale at 416 Cloverdale Road.
As the owner and the executive chef come forward, I just want to commend them. I don't know whether you've heard or not, but the restaurant received the James Beard Award just recently. Newspaper articles this morning talk about the opening of a new restaurant downtown that we'll announce on the November 6th. But as important of all of that, they're going to join in a sister city relationship with Pietrasanta and Tuscany to create a new culinary exchange program that we're going to be visiting with our Italian friends when they get here in November. So I just wanted to say thank them for the great contributions they're making. Front page headlines the other day talked about when the testers came for Car of the Year, they had a meal at Vintage Year, and they were very impressed. That whether that gets us the Car of the Year or not, I don't know, but having a good meal didn't hurt.
The article in the Advertiser this morning I think they did justice. They did a good job. It's exciting what's going to happen there, Judd. It's really neat, and I appreciate the investment I know that the family's doing. So it's great. All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone who'd like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing's been held. It's proper for the council. Need a motion?
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Very good.
Thank you.
Good luck with
Appreciate
business.
Item 13, application for Lynn's Retail Liquor Class 2 package license, doing business is On the Way Package Store, 1175A West South Boulevard.
Representative on the way package store. Yes, sir. Come forward.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Your name for the record, sir?
Sandeep Guva. I am
Okay.
representing Guva Realty LLC.
Very good.
Yeah.
This is a public hearing, and I'd like to speak against this item. Please come forward.
Yes, sir.
Seeing none, declare the public hearing's been held. Proper for the council. Need a motion?
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is
Good luck with your
adopted.
business, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Item 14, application for a retail beer and retail table wine owner off premises, doing business is
Oh, my Lord.
Staybridge Suites, Montgomery downtown.
Man don't know nothing about
275
drinking.
Lee Street.
Yeah. Mr. Kaiser, it's good to see you this afternoon.
Good to be here.
Your name for the record, sir. We don't know who you are.
Okay.
All right, Jerry Kaiser. All right, this is a public hearing, and anyone who'd like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing's been held. It's proper for the council. Need a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Have motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
Thank
All
you,
in favor,
thank you
raise your
very
hand.
much.
Good luck,
Unanimous.
Mr. Kaiser.
Thank you very much.
Resolution is adopted. Item 15, application for retail beer and retail table wine owner off premises, doing business as Spring Hill Suites, 152 Coosa Street.
I guess you represented the Spring Hill Suites, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I'm Debbie
Very
Bozeman,
good.
the general manager.
Your name?
Debbie Bozeman.
Okay, Debbie. This is a public hearing. Anyone would like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing's been held. It's proper for the council.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Have motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with it. I understand it's really doing well.
Thank you very
That's
much.
great.
While she's leaving, Charlie Jenwright knows about this, but last Wednesday, we were invited by Spring Hill Suites and Debbie to have the cabinet meeting there at that facility, and we did have the cabinet meeting. They served us a nice breakfast. It's a nice facility.
I would say if you're down there, just walk in the lobby. It's impressive. But what's so impressive is there's 2 new hotels opened up in Montgomery in the last month. And we got, 2 more coming, I believe, on the drawing board that are coming in. We have got something really happening in our city on tourism, and I think people need to understand how good our tourism is going on, what's going on in the city. A lot of folks are coming. I know the mayor has spoken, I have spoken. We have a lot of people in this town, people coming from out of town to see what we're doing here. So we all need to be proud of what Montgomery has become. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The leader did it, and we appreciate it. So it's really something to see. So go see these new hotels. They're outstanding. All right, next item.
Item 16, application for retail beer and retail table wine owner off premises, doing business as Board and Brush, 7236 Halcyon Park Drive.
Board and Brush. Your name, sir, for the record?
Yes, sir. Jonathan Lewis.
Jonathan. Have you had this before?
This is a franchise. and-
Franchise? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Somebody did this, I think, before. My wife went there. Her painting didn't look too good, but. All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, if that public hearing has been held, it's brought before the council. Need a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is
Now,
adopted.
this is where you go in there and have an event and you paint a painting and then you have a little wine to go with it?
This is wood, it's woodworking, and you actually create your projects out of wood.
And
So it's-
you're in Halcyon Park Drive?
Yes, sir.
That in one of the shopping centers there?
Pepper tree.
Very good. Good luck with the business, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Item 17, application for retail beer and retail table wine off premises only, doing business as Purple Cow 306 at 9250 Atlanta Highway.
And Representative Purple Cow on Atlanta Highway. Purple Cow on Atlanta Highway. Uh-oh. Yeah, it must have. This is a public hearing. Anyone would like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, if the public hearing has been held, this will be carried over since no one's here to represent that.
Yes, sir.
Probably
Item
going to happen with all of them.
They're different LLCs, if you'll look at them. So we'll need to go through them one by one and have.
Yeah,
hold
Purple
public
Cow on
hearings.
Selma Highway. Anybody here represents Purple Cow on Selma Highway? Same thing. This is a public hearing on this item. Anybody has an objection, give me a comment. Let me come forward this time, okay? Seeing none, if that public hearing's been held, it'll be carried over to the next meeting.
Item 19, application for retail beer and table wine, doing business as Purple Cow 310 at 215 Dickerson Street.
Representative of Purple Cow on Dickerson Street. Seeing they're not here, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, if that public hearing's been held, proper before the council, we'll carry this over.
Item 20, application for retail beer and retail table wine, doing business as Purple Cow 312.
This is a Purple
1220
Cow,
Perry Hill Road.
Purple Cow on Perry Hill Road. Seeing there's no representative here, this is a public hearing. Anyone would like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, public hearing's been held, it's proper for the council, we'll carry this over.
Item 21, resolution appointing Reggie Dunn to the Planning Commission.
Okay. Need a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules
Okay.
on the rest of the agenda.
I wouldn't do it on this agenda, I'd do it one at a time, okay?
Do one at a time?
Yeah, uh-huh. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 22, resolution appointing Roderick L. Thornton to the Industrial Development Board.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
No, ma'am.
No,
I would
wait
like,
a
I've
minute.
had a couple calls on this. I'd like to carry it over for 2 weeks.
Carry this one over.
Wait, which one you carrying over? The
And
IDB?
IDB board.
22.
Why we carrying it over?
Because I've had a couple calls from members of the board. I'd just like to look into it a little bit more.
Who you gonna look into it with? It's my appointment, I'm just saying, what are you gonna look into? I mean, you have the right to do that, but I'm just asking, what you looking into?
I would like to know who,
He's here. Yeah, you wanna talk to him?
we will after the agenda.
Okay, he's here.
All right.
We'll vote this on next meeting. 23,
Resolution appointing Betty Prince to the Community Action Committee.
need a motion to suspend rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 24, resolution reappointing J.B. Jules to the Electrical Board of Adjustment and Appeals.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 25, resolution reappointing Pamela King to the Water and Sewer Board.
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 26, resolution concurring in the reappointment of Henry A. Frazier to the Joint Public Charity Hospital Board.
Motion suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 27, resolution concurring in the appointment of Carrie L. Owens to the Joint Public Charity Hospital Board.
Motion suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 28, resolution designating nuisance abatement agent.
Motion suspend the rules. 28.
Motion suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 29, pursuant to Section 1153B1 Code of Alabama, authorization of demolition of unsafe structures at the listed locations.
Okay. Need a motion to uphold?
Move to uphold.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Item 30, resolution assessing the cost of abatement of unsafe structures on various lots.
Need a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
All right, 31. Motion to suspend the rules on 31.
Resolution declaring, authorizing, and assessing cost of abatement of public nuisances on various
All right,
lots.
Brandon, you got us a list today?
Yes, sir. Fiscal year to date, we responded to 397 complaints, and this evening we're asking for approval to abate 109, 26 of which 26 would be state-owned properties.
So that's 1 month.
Well, it's about 10 days, yes, sir. About 10
That's
working
right.
days, yes, sir.
Do we have anyone on there that is other than the state, that's a frequent violator? That would have more than 10 in the aggregate or something like that?
There, you will see a couple, yes, sir. There's the one right there, J Properties. They're frequently on the list, which this evening only having 2 is amazing. They've actually gotten a little better. They're the same company as Delta Properties, so they would be on there a few times as well.
You know, I wouldn't, I'm short time, I wouldn't be opposed to us bringing to you the 5 top on any one particular month on a cumulative basis. And maybe it might be appropriate for the city council to call them before them and just ask why. Because what I think happens, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're using us as
Clean the property up.
to clean the property up.
And then the property never get, we never get our money, but it goes straight to the
That's right. And
tax-
so
tax.
I would like to, at least
When we
from
need
a
to talk
public
to-
standpoint, call some attention
Brandon,
to those.
you got the idea how much trouble that is, or if you can do that?
No, well, I mean, I'm familiar with several of them, and I don't know that they necessarily use us to clean up the property, but they do a lot of times use us to drive up the redemption costs for the previous owner. You know, just
Because they don't, if it goes there, and they never pay it, yeah.
That you're required to maintain it, and they look at it as if the city ordered them to do so. They can put a dollar amount on it and then try to draw interest back off of that.
All right, very good. I need a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Motion to
Unanimous.
adopt.
Need a motion to adopt. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
All right. Here we go with, this is stuff from Mr. Bell.
Yes, sir. You want me just to start with one?
Huh?
You want me just to start with one, or?
Let's
you
let's
want to
start
tell
with
me which
Mr.
one?
Mallory on, I got it on top. You got Mr. Chester Mallory?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's do that. Suspend the rules on that one.
Resolution reappointing Chester Mallory to the Montgomery Airport Authority.
Okay. All, give me a suspend the,
Move to suspend the rule.
all in favor, raise your hand.
Thank you.
Unanimous. No, wait a minute.
Got any, hold back.
Mr. Lyons,
Chester
did you
Mallory.
vote?
He's already on
Airport
it.
Authority, he's already there.
His reappointment.
He reappointed, okay. All right. All,
Is
do we
it
suspend the rules?
unanimous?
All in favor of suspend the rules?
What, is this on, back on the airport authority?
Yes, Chester
He's going back on
Mallory. We
airport
had
authority.
two that were wavering. Are y'all voting this time? Unanimous?
Let me look down. You unanimous?
It's unanimous.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. It's good. Unanimous. Go- All right, then need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous?
You want me to go on, Mrs.?
If you want to pick one, or I can go through the stack, it doesn't matter.
You pick one.
Okay. Resolution appointing William Baldwin to the Water and Sewer Board.
William Baldwin, replacing Bernice Robinson. Need a motion to suspend the rules.
Move to suspend the rules.
Doesn't-
Looks like we've
Oh, yeah.
got
Oh, yeah, I'll
six
wait.
with 1, 2, and 7 voting no.
Carried over?
Yes, sir.
All right, next one.
Resolution reappointing Bart Prince to the Board of Adjustment.
This is a reappointment.
Okay, reappoint, okay. Need a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Okay. Need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Resolution appointing Jackie Patterson Barlow to the Planning Commission.
Need a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, raise your hand.
7.
Carried over.
I have 1 and 2 not voting to suspend the
Yeah.
rules.
Carry over.
Yes, sir.
Carried over. Okay. All right.
Can I make a statement?
Let's go to the next thing.
Can I make a statement?
Yes, sir, Mr. Bill.
Payback is hell, y'all.
Okay. All right, let's go to
Council, I put
the
before
next thing on
you
the
some-
agenda, Miss.
I've put before you some contingency funds. The following, the mayor has approved for District 2, $500 to Girls on the Run, $5,000 to Madison Park Community Reunion Organization. For District 9, $500 to Aid to Inmate Mothers, $500 to National Federation for the Blind, $500 to Eat South, $1,000 to March of Dimes. Mayor Strange, I've got 2 that I've received early this morning I hadn't had a chance to get to you. Macoa for $2,000, Bonds and Montgomery Clean City Commission, $500, Camp Ascot, $1,000. That's for District 1, and for District 3, Alabama State Taipei Program, $1,000, and $1,500 to Newtown Neighborhood Association.
Do we have the paperwork on the Tapeta one?
They said that we can make it to Alabama State University. They are a vendor.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
I can't hear you, sir. and it's- I can't hear you, sir.
She can't hear you. Speak in your microphone.
Hello, hello. Can y'all hear me now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can talk. Get in there
District-
close.
Do what?
Get close to your microphone so we can hear you.
District 2, I'd like to add 5,000 to the Highland Garden Community Center. Do we have that on there? And then 500 to Mr. Boyd's New Year's Day Parade.
What's his 501c3?
He has to go to the chamber, I think.
Chamber of Commerce?
It's got to go through the chamber? Okay.
Or it's a Lacey Boyd, I believe, parade.
Okay. All right.
District
Anybody
5,
else?
Yeah, District 5 got something.
District 5 got something.
All right, $1,000 to Lacey Boyd, New Year's Parade, going to the chamber. $5,000 to Fresh Start Community Development Corporation. $2,500
Wait just a
to
second. Fresh Start Community.
Community Development Corporation.
Is that on our list?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
25.
Is-
25.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. Is that the inmate training program?
Oh, no.
What's Fresh Start?
U City. You know, that big write-up they did in the newspaper, and they said I couldn't give money to them. That one.
Yes, sir, they're a vendor.
But it's okay, so 5,000 to Fresh Start Community Development Corporation, 2,500 to Kershaw YMCA, 2,000 to Status Elite,
Slow down.
Okay.
To 2002.
Status Elite, 1,500 to Green Acres Neighborhood Association,
Green.
Yes. 1,500 to McGee Neighborhood Association. And 1,500 to Vaughn Road Neighborhood Association.
Okay.
Uh,
Anybody
Madam-
else?
Madam Clerk?
Yes,
I
sir.
need to ask a question. Are those in the previous, out of discretionary funds?
No, this is out of this year.
Contingency funds.
I mean contingency
Discretionary
fund?
fund.
Yes, sir.
I'd like for Mr. Boyd to know that I have approved those.
Okay.
They're good. Okay, anybody else? Need a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Okay. Okay. I have Avis Lewis to speak to the council. Avis Love Lewis.